devil's advocate here. Oh, Gank loves devil's advocates. Um, it's a kindred spirit, the Gank. Oki Ren says, devil's advocate here. Isn't it in Matt's interest to say bullish things about SPS? The team will benefit hugely from any pump. Can I speak to this first and let you
Yeah,
go?
go for it.
Because you have much more experience. But in my opinion, from when I watch Matt, he doesn't do that. Like he just doesn't like shield the token. If anything, he downplays things more often than anything. But to hear him say things like, I think it's underrated, I think people are underestimating it. I don't think he's saying, like, hey guys, this coin is going to be huge. He's just saying, take another look. And those are the clues that I look to see, where they are as a team trying to give us information to move forward. So it is in his best interest, 100%. But him personally, I just don't see him. I haven't seen him do that before. He's said he's bullish before and stuff, but it's not everyone, and it's only at times when things pop off. So, Gank, what are your thoughts there, man?
So, couple things to consider here is that unlike most NFT projects or crypto projects, these guys have been at it for 3.5 years plus, like in the trenches, like working years without like having any serious influx of money coming in. And now it's been such a huge year. I mean, they're everyone that was on the original team is doing fine. Like as far as money goes, like everyone's doing fine, I'm sure, because they are also, aside from being, the founders, they also are players, and they've been stocking up on cards like me, and they have skin in the game, as they like to say. But more to Walking Keys' point is that for sure, Aggroed is like the hype man, like the guy at the front, fucking telling everybody, like, getting people excited about stuff. And Matt has always been the person who's like, relax, Aggroed. Like, let's not overpromise. Let's not, always like pulling him back. So Walking Keys is correct as far as like saying like he doesn't say stuff like this almost ever. It was definitely out of character for him to even like talk like this. It's usually like, even talking about like the next thing coming out, just listen to how he talks about it. It doesn't like to put dates on it. He doesn't like to put, because he doesn't want to like set expectations that he can't meet.
He's
And
super smart,
that's how he operates. He's very like zeros and ones.
calculated.
Very calculated. He wants to like hit everything. He wants everything he says to be true and solid. And so he doesn't like to overpromise or um, you know, uh, speak with good intentions, but then fall short. Like a lot of people, it's not that they're like bullshitting; they're just like operating in this best case scenario mindset, where
Or
like
from the bubble.
right, where like if nothing goes wrong, then this is what's going to happen. Whereas Matt is very pragmatic and just like, hey, shit could go wrong. I might need more time to work on this. Let's not promise this, next week when it might be a month from now.
Yeah.
So that's his general like MO. And he I can't remember the last time I heard him say anything close to like, what he said in the last AMA, but like that. So
the last time I remember it was when he was talking in September, when he was just, when they were, or maybe it was even August, but they were just the first wave of that big run came, and he was talking about Chaos Legion and all these things they're going to be doing for like I think I forget what it was, but like voucher. I don't know if it was vouchers yet, or he was talking about something he was really excited about. But I do want to say, for Chaos Legion, for that one, I remember this one more clearly. Him and Aggro were given a question: when do you think Chaos Legion will sell out? And Matt was like, well, 8 to 10 months. is what he said. And then Aggro was like, "Well, I think it will sell out faster, and there's a lot of hype behind it selling out quick." And he's like, "Well, I don't know if it'll sell out in a day, but it might happen a little sooner than 8 months or whatever." And then it turns out Matt's right. Out of all the hype, out of everything with Chaos Legion, he was dead on.
Right, and even Aggro started out like at
Yeah, he
a slower pace, but since I was hyping so much in Mav chat, like, oh, it's gonna sell out, like Matt's saying 8 to 10 months, I'm like, it's selling out in 8 to 10 minutes, like super hyping it like for weeks on end. That actually pulled Aggro like to the point of being like, he was like, shit, Gank might be right. Like I
it might
started
happen. It might happen.
pulling them over. And I mean, like, I wasn't trying to like overhype something. I literally thought it was selling out in an hour.
Well,
But
with
the whole
SPS at
the whole
90
market,
cents, it was a lot easier.
yeah, the whole market took a shit. And I could have looked like a genius for sure. But as it turns out, that's the 1% of the time I'm wrong. So you guys forgive me, I'm sure.
There's that math again. But yeah, I agree. Devil's advocate, good question there. Okirin was just throwing the question out there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I that's cool.
and it's a great question. It's
yeah, it's a good question to ask for sure.
especially in the NFT space. It's a legitimate question.
For sure. I mean, just the fact that these guys are like face the music every week
Yeah.
is fucking huge. I
Every
mean,
week.
most NFT projects, I mean, you go to like the the About Us page and it's like there's no actual people connected to it. It's all like pseudonyms or screen names, or it's like no
Yeah.
one wants to actually like connect
Johnny
themselves.
Fairplay.
Right. And it's just like, okay, well, how much can you really trust something like that? But these guys have just been in the shit with us for this whole time and facing the music every week and like pretty much putting I've gone in there and asked some tough questions. Like I don't phrase them in a nasty way, but like I'm asking tough questions. They let people ask tough questions. They're not afraid of speaking to the whys of their decisions and stuff. And I've watched them navigate this space since the very beginning of the NFT space. And their vision was way more sophisticated than anyone else's at the beginning. They saw this playing field in such an amazing way that it's hard for us to comprehend it because we had never really experienced anything in like this world that we're now living in. Yeah, so it's hard for our brains to wrap around something like a technology so new and a platform so new and just like an idea of like how to build a game around something on such a new turf. So it's been a wild ride, but I've gained so much respect for them along the way, as far as not just the decisions they've made, but the decisions of how they've made them and why they've made them, and always putting the game first and never selling out. Never feeling like they crossed the finish line. Even this year, where I feel like for sure they could feel like they crossed the finish line, and
They could have take their money and run.
Right. Instead, Aggro's talking about like, he just leveled up his plan. He's like how he's going to change the world with the game.
Yeah.
He's like, there is no finish line. Like this is, like this is just the beginning.
We just started.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
We're done with training. Yeah. I mean, if you look, it's easy to get caught up into it because, we're looking at Splinterlands in very small chunks. We talk about it, weekly at least. And we're talking about watching these town halls and talking about things that are happening. And we're all, obviously talking about things that are coming up. Most of tonight's show has been talking about Modern and Wild and Land and things that aren't even here yet. But it's easy to forget that a year ago, SPS wasn't even invented. It wasn't even out there. There were untamed deck or packs available and dice packs available. And since then, in a year, we've SPS airdrops. It's changed the game. Vouchers are being airdropped to people that stake SPS. Now we also have a whole new deck that's out that will remain out for new players for a while. That's at $4 a pack, which is pretty cheap in the NFT space. And then additionally, the year isn't even up. There's so much more to come. We partner with Warner Brothers. We've got listed on a few other small exchanges. It's just the steps
Well,
that this game has taken.
we did not partner with Warner Brothers, but the Splinterlands, the company did. And
Yeah,
there is going to
the whole
be
company.
spill off from that over time.
Yeah,
for
well,
sure.
I'm just listing
Yeah,
things that the
yeah. No,
company
I
has
know. I just wanted to
accomplished.
clarify for anyone
That's a good point.
who's new to the
We brought
info.
Waka to the thing. We
Waka.
got new reward cards. We're going to get more new reward cards. There's no, Rift Watchers are going to come out, then another subset. So I'm very, very excited about how things are going. Yeah, Warner Music Group, to be specific, has partnered with Splinterlands.
And Waka is a part of that. So I mean, that is we are tied into them already. But the actual partnership.
Oh, it's a good distinction.
Yeah,
but it's amazing how far this game has come in a year, and how far in a year from now we'll have new leagues, new tournaments. I mean, that's another thing we didn't mention. The tournaments have just gone they've gotten so much better. But then we have LAN, Modern and Wild, plus whatever else they've got up their sleeve after the SPS airdrop. It's a good time to be in Splinterlands. It's a good time to buy in. Not financial advice.
Never.